Yeah, I hope Bautista whopped Umar's ass. I will fight Bautista next because Bautista is a good fighter. He has like a good winning streak. He beat a lot of good guys. Umar, I know him a long time, and he was disrespecting me, and yeah, I was very mad about him, and that was personal for sure. If he deserved title fight again, if we fought again, I will destroy him. Now, this time, I will beat the shit out of him.
I think Merab gonna win.
I gotta pick Merab, but I definitely want Corey to win.
I want to ask them favor, yeah, to fight fourth time this year. If I win, first I have to win this fight, and I'm very focused because like I said, I don't think it's gonna be easy fight for me. But if I win this fight, I wanna come back quick and give Peter Yan his fight, because he is like clear contender right now, and he's the most deserving guy in my weight class.
Umar Nurmagomedov is all set to make his UFC return after his defeat against Merab Dvalishvili at UFC 311. Umar will face Mario Bautista at UFC 321 and is pushing hard to re-enter the title contention race in the bantamweight division.
Umar Nurmagomedov starts his new camp for his next match. He started with the striking. He really wants to improve his striking ability.
However, Merab Dvalishvili hopes Mario Bautista whoops Umar's ass at UFC 321 and earns a title shot. He says Bautista is the most deserving contender because of his winning streak and victories over tough opponents, pointing out that his cousin's name is not Khabib, so he doesn't get special treatment. Merab adds that if Bautista wins, he should be next for the title, though he also notes there are other contenders rising in the division.
Yeah, I hope Bautista whopped Umar's ass. I will fight Bautista next because Bautista is a good fighter. He has like a good winning streak. He beat a lot of good guys, and he's most deserving guy too. And he don't have his Bautista's cousin's name is not a Khabib. That's why he needs to 9 fight win streak to maybe fight for the belt. And some people can get title fight after 6 fight win streak, fight nobody's, without ranked opponents. And if Bautista could be next, or there is some, I forget there is other fights also in our division, and after that we will have more contenders in our weight class.
Merab Dvalishvili also previews his UFC 320 title defense against Corey Sandhagen, stressing that he isn't underestimating him. He praises Sandhagen as a skilled fighter and a respectful person, but acknowledges the danger he presents. Merab says he has focused on improving his striking for this matchup and expects heavy stand-up exchanges, while reminding that in MMA, he must be ready for every situation.
I know a lot of people think I got this fight easy, but no, definitely no, because it's a new fight for me. Corey Sandhagen is dangerous opponent. I have so much respect him as a fighter and as a human being. I'm looking for a first knockout because now I'm working on my striking. And we'll see. I'm working on my striking, and this fight most it's gonna go on the foot, and of course I'm gonna exchange some punches with him, and that's the goal. But same time it's MMA fight, and we have to be ready for everything.
On the other hand, Khabib reflected on Umar's defeat against Merab, emphasizing that he wants Umar to process it independently. While willing to offer guidance, Khabib believes facing adversity alone builds resilience. He added that overcoming this setback would prove Umar's championship potential, but failing to do so might indicate he wasn't destined for that level. Khabib Nurmagomedov said, "I prefer they get through those situations on their own. Of course, I'm always there to help, but it's better for them in the long run. Umar will come out stronger if he makes it through. If he doesn't, then maybe he was never meant to be champion." Khabib explained that if Umar secures victory and earns a title shot, the achievement will be even more rewarding. He added that while it would have been ideal for both Islam and Umar to become champions, perhaps it's God's way of guiding Umar towards something even greater. Khabib added, if he gets through it, wins, and earns a title shot, the victory will be even sweeter. Honestly, it would have been a fairy tale ending. Both Islam and Umar as champions champs. But maybe the Almighty was protecting him from something. Meanwhile, Merab warns that if a rematch happens, he will dominate Umar. He recalls Umar talking too much during the press conference and mocking him while he took a picture with the belt, calling it childish. Moran explains that in a potential next fight, he will destroy Umar, noting that he's improved significantly since their first bout. He adds that injuries and a tough training camp affected his performance previously, but next time he'll be fully ready.
Bro, he was talking too much. Even the press conference day Thursday, when we had pace up, and then I take a picture with the belt and whatever, and then he said, last picture. He was keep pointing at me that I was taking with the belt, last picture, like, and that's like stupid from him. And but if he deserved title fight again, if we fought again, I will destroy him. Now this time I will beat the shit out of him. First fight, now the next fight I will, yeah.
Why do you think? Because you've just improved that much, even more?
I win, and then now I can talk about this. I was injured, like my back was killing me, and then I had infection on my leg, and then that was very stressful training camp. And but next fight, if I have to fight him, you know.
On the other hand, Arman explained why Umar lost to Merab, saying it was a solid performance, but he wasn't fully prepared for someone like Merab. Umar performed well in the first 2 rounds, but eventually got tired. Arman noted that while Umar's hands were strong, managing strikes and kicks together is a different challenge, which contributed to his loss.
What do you think of Umar's performance?
Was good performance, but like, you know, he didn't have a tough fighters like Merab, so he did very good 2 rounds, but then he got tired.
Yeah,
he got tired.
His hand.
Yeah, but like hand and tired is different, you know.
Really?
Yeah, but
you think it was because he got tired he lost? Not
yeah,
the hand?
for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
He could kick, he could defend, you know.
Yeah.
Earlier, Umar's coach, Javier Mendez, offered his perspective on the fight, suggesting that Umar actually won at least 3 rounds. He explained that in the 5th round, Merab's showboating and confident body language influenced the judges, leading them to believe Merab was ahead and ultimately awarding him the victory.
He was, you know, I just said to him, I said what I felt. I said, you know what, Umar, I felt, in my opinion, I felt you won 3 out of the 5 rounds, and maybe I'm being biased, but I felt in the 5th round, the reason why you didn't win is because he showboated his way to winning that. Like, yes, he acted like the victor where you were tired, you know, and that's why I feel he basically took it from you, because you led him, you know, and but I felt you won.
Javier Mendez noted that Umar inflicted more damage on Merab throughout the fight, but Merab's mind games swayed the judges. Mendez admitted that Umar couldn't stop the showboating, and he didn't place full blame on the officials for the outcome.
You know, because when you're looking on damage and this and that, but when it comes to presence, he definitely got that. He definitely got that. So, but the actual damage that he did was nothing compared to what Umar did. He did more, but again, he did show that I'm the winner, you know, and Umar couldn't stop him, you know, from showing that, you know. So, you know, I can see how the judges would get swayed on that.
On the other hand, Merab Dvalishvili is all set to defend his title for the 3rd time in 2025 against Corey Sandhagen at UFC 320, and the pros have shared their thoughts on this interesting matchup. Curtis Blades picks Corey Sandhagen, acknowledging the challenge posed by Merab Dvalishvili's takedown. He explains that Corey's jiu-jitsu, length, and creativity could allow him to either return to his feet or threaten submissions on the ground. Blades highlights Sandhagen's adaptability, noting that his striking creativity translates to grappling, and believes that if Corey executes his game plan, he can neutralize Merab enough to make the fight a stand-up battle.
I am going to go with my boy Sandhagen. I know this is going to be tough, because you know Merab at some point he's going to get the takedown, but I also believe Corey's got the jiu-jitsu to either get the stand-up, high him up, or maybe even catch him in a submission. He's got great flexibility. He's very long, and he's very creative, as you can see on the way he strikes. That's also how he grapples. And I think when they're on the ground, because again, it's going to happen, you have to just accept that and prepare for that, which I believe he will do. I think he'll be able to potentially catch him, or not tire him out, but make him effective enough that he decides to strike with him. Where obviously I think
Diego Ferreira also admires Corey Sandhagen's skill set and acknowledges him as a tough challenge, but he doubts Sandhagen can wear down Merab Dvalishvili. He points out that Merab's pace and energy never fade, making him extremely difficult to stop. Ferreira describes Merab as entertaining to watch and predicts that his pressure will carry him to another victory.
Ooh. Merab. I like Sandhagen. No, he's a good skill guy. He good take down, but right now I don't see the guy getting tired. You know, I don't see Merab like really stopping. Like, you know, he's a really funny guy like to watching, and I think he's still gonna be taking that W.
However, bantamweight fighter Davey Grant makes it clear that he is backing Merab Dvalishvili. He praises Corey Sandhagen as a fantastic fighter, but explains that having trained with Merab, he knows firsthand how different and difficult he is to deal with. Grant's respect for both men is evident, yet his experience convinces him that Merab will come out on top.
Oh yeah, Merab, 100%. Unless I have a lot of respect for Corey, I think he's a fantastic fighter, but I've trained with Merab and he's different.
Elijah Smith shares that while he respects Merab Dvalishvili, his support is with Corey Sandhagen. Being from Colorado himself, he feels connected to Sandhagen and wants to see him finally earn the belt. Smith points out that Corey has long deserved a title shot, noting how he was overlooked even after beating Chito Vera, who later fought for the championship. He believes it's time Sandhagen gets the recognition and opportunity he has worked for.
I want to see Sandman. I like Merab. But Sandhagen, Colorado guy, so you know I gotta go for the home state guy, and yeah, I would like to see him go ahead and get that belt. I feel like he's been deserved. I mean, he got passed up on it even when because he beat Chito Vera, and Chito got a title shot before he did, and I think it's because Sandhagen might have been hurt or something like that. But I would definitely like to see him get that belt.
On the contrary, middleweight fighter Eric Anders breaks down the matchup by pointing out that until someone solves Merab Dvalishvili's relentless style, he has to side with him. He explains that Merab always drags opponents into gritty, exhausting fights and simply outworks them. While he credits Corey Sandhagen as a skilled and technical striker, Anders feels Sandhagen needs more space to execute his game. Since Merab has already proven he can handle taller, longer fighters, Anders leans toward him to win.
Well, until somebody figures out Merab, I gotta go with Merab because he's just gonna out hustle you no matter what. They just always make it those grimy fights, you know. I think Sandhagen is a finesse fighter, you know. He's really good, but I just think he needs like a little bit more space to do his work, you know. And Merab has shown that he can beat the longer, taller fighters like O'Malley. So yeah, I'm gonna go Merab.
UFC lightweight Drakkar Klose admits it's a tough matchup but leans toward Corey Sandhagen. He explains that he likes Sandhagen's style and skills, which makes him believe Corey will be the one to get the win.
Oh man, hopefully I like Sandhagen. It's gonna be tough. But I'm gonna go with Sandhagen.
Moreover, Julius Walker views this matchup as one of the toughest for Merab Dvalishvili, but he points out a major challenge for Corey Sandhagen: the energy spent defending takedowns. He believes Merab will be fully prepared to capitalize on that, especially after seeing how Umar's takedowns affected previous opponents. Walker feels overcoming Merab's relentless pace and wrestling will be extremely difficult and ultimately leans toward Merab to win.
Oh man, I actually think this is probably one of the toughest matchups for Merab, but the one thing that I just can't see that I think is a really, really big issue for Corey in this fight is just the amount that he gives his back to defend those takedowns. I think that Merab is going to be game for that. And then also after watching the Umar fight, you know, and the takedowns Umar was able to get, and I get that. I think it's just going to take a lot to beat Merab, so I have to go with Merab in that one.
Meanwhile, Eric McConico explains that Merab Dvalishvili's style is built on relentless pressure, almost like running non-stop drills inside the cage. He notes how that pace drains opponents and makes Merab extremely difficult to deal with. He acknowledges Corey Sandhagen's creativity as a striker, which could present problems. Still, with Merab's momentum and impressive winning streak, McConico leans toward him to come out on top.
Dude, Merab is like, I feel like Merab's style, what he's been doing of that, like,
he's doing it correctly. Like he's pretty much doing drills in there, man, with a high ass pace, and just tires everybody out. So I mean, probably Merab again, man. But Corey Sandhagen's a very creative striker, dude. So I don't know, maybe Merab because Merab's been on a win.
However, UFC lightweight Gage Young shows clear support for Corey Sandhagen, calling him one of his all-time favorite fighters. With that connection, he makes it clear he's rooting for the Sandman to get the win.
Corey Sandman Sandhagen, come on, Corey. He's one of my favorite fighters of all time, so I gotta root for the Sandman.
That's a wrap for today's video. Drop your predictions in the comments below and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Hit the bell icon so you never miss our latest uploads.